Okay, we're live on YouTube. Welcome to all my YouTube viewers. Thank you for being here. Let's go. We're exactly four, so we'll start the webinar. Um, I want to start today's webinar with this one because I think yet last week's lesson I spoke about the euro in details and I show you what you should look for in the euro, right? Remember all the fancy news that was going on, everybody's euro is going to fall, and I like you got to look for the turning spot in the euro now. And there was a reason we thought it was going to turn. I actually showed you this one. This very same pattern in the daily, I actually copied it, bring it across, showed you we got this, we got a sharp move, we got this, they broke the low, and then they turned up for a big move. So we have that, we got a sharp move down, we got this, we got a correction down here, and we are looking for a turning spot. Now, the question is, for those of you who know, understand exactly, for those of you who understand, what is it really making? In this case, we are looking at this. We are potentially looking at this as a possible expanding flat, which means this one should come and break the low. Right? That's one option of how we think this pattern will develop. Right? So if that is the case, we would probably see this one go up to a certain spot. It probably make a running flat, probably even make an expanding flat. We don't know which it is. But anytime within this area here, you can expect turns back to the downside. Right? Because we don't think, I don't think this is changing direction for up again. This is just an up move to finish this consolidation and then continue to go down. Now the downside we would know what is going to happen when this continue up here, goes back down, let's say a running flat, for example, comes back down here. There's a running flat here. You can see what they look like, just in case you're wondering, right? Comes back down here and then break this low. Then we will make a decision whether we're going to go back up or whether we're going to continue down. So you have some buy this week. You might have some sell this week or next week. The sells are going to come in. Depends on how far this go, whether it's a running or expanding flat. You're going to get buys this week, then you're going to look for sells next week, and then you're so that's what I think is going to happen. Come down to the 4 hour where the trade setups are actually going to be, where you're going to look. It's actually one move on the 60 minute. You already had a consolidation you could have bought into. If you want, there was a consolidation here already on the 60 minutes. I think all of you saw that one. And then this continued to go. So you're probably going to get a lot more consolidation and go. We will see how this go, but eventually you're going to get a big consolidation to finish the move and then downside. Now, if it is an expanding flat, you might get quite a lot going up. So you may see this thing go up to make an expanding flat, which means we're going to break these tops again. We're going to break this top, this one that we have here. We're going to break that top again, right? That there is a possibility for that. We don't know which it's going to do. But at least you can start looking for buy setups here. Let's see. Right? That's what I told you last week. You got to be careful, even if you get a sell. I think I remember saying, you can look at the video. If you get a sell, it's a short-term trade. Take profit. But when the buy comes, and if you get in the buy, stay with the buy because the buy might be a longer-term trade. So this week, expecting this to go up. Let's go back to, and the next one, I'll go to the second one that I think is very important that I told you should be in that trade. And you need to just buy it and walk away from the computer and don't mess with it. That's this one. You should be buying at 15. You should be buying at 14.50, which means, I think not 15, 14.90, 14.50. So you're close to 14.90 back. I have both trades. I have the 14.90 trades and I have the 14.50 trade. So the 14.50 is in profit. 14.90 will get into profit very soon. I'm not worried about that. And I still have an entry order somewhere at 13.90. That means if I get this consolidation comes back here and go, I'm just going to add this trade to that one, take this off and put it there, and then I'll have 3 trades going. The 3 trades are actually like one entry lot broken into 3 parts. Right? One sum that I wanted to risk in this trade, but I broke it into 3 parts, put 3 entry orders. 2 are in, 1 is not in, I'll get the other one. So is this a consolidation? I have to be careful because this thing could take off and don't come back. There is a small consolidation here. I think all of you can see that. There is a small consolidation there, but I'm not quite sure that that consolidation is over, right? There is a good chance they will make an attempt at the low here again before they go give you a bigger consolidation in there, right? Because the reason I'm not sure, because the one in there is a contracting flat, right? The ones we call contracting flat that I told you about, right? If that is a contracting flat, then yes, we are going. There is no stopping it. But if you were going to buy silver, you didn't need to look at patterns. You just look at the price and put those entry orders in there. Now, when it gets above the 15 area, then you start actually trading it based on the patterns. Because below 15, it's a no-brainer. Put your entry order, get your trade, let it go. Above 15, we start trading again normal, using patterns, using wave analysis to get in for a better entry and all of that. This, you didn't have to find a perfect entry. You just had to put the entry orders and it will take you. That was it, right? If it falls from here lower, I don't see that possibility if it's going to fall from here lower, but let's see. Let's wait and see where it does, right? I think a lot of you should be at least one buy from the 1450 area, right? If you're not in that, then you got to wait. You got to wait until we get a confirmation of what's going to happen here. So let's go. Dollar index. Dollar index coming back. Expected, nothing new. I think it's going to be a consolidation. Watch it. We might come back like the euro. We might come back pretty low. Will this be a continuation? I think yes, you'll get continuation. And that is because I showed you 3 weeks back, I showed you the weekly analysis, right? I don't know how many of you remember the weekly analysis where we're going to make 1, we're going to make 2, and we could likely come back here for 3. Right? Do you remember the weekly analysis? I copied it from this one. I think they should, look, it's here actually. I copied it and I put it for you guys and I said, watch for that, right? Magic, right? The magic is working, right? So you just have, this is not magic. This is understanding how the market works. This is really understanding how the market works. Forget about the news events. This is understanding what market does, because they've already done that previously. And when they do that, what will happen next? Right? It's easy. It's copied, it's here, it's waiting for you. It didn't go anywhere. You can put it back and keep it. Right? And this was, I think, 2 weeks ago or so. When we were coming down, I said, be careful. They're going to stop somewhere here and go back up. Right? I don't think this was last week. This was the week before. So go back and look at those webinars and then look at them and you'll probably learn a thing or two from these webinars as they go, right? I really don't think a lot of people are getting access to these webinars because there are a lot of people out there still losing money. They should get access to it. So it's up to you guys to help somebody by sharing the video so that they can learn about it, right? It's free stuff. And a lot of you are learning from the free stuff. And if you really want to get better at that, you know what to do, right? So watch this. I think we're going to get some up move here today. Sorry, this week coming. Wait for flags, wait for consolidation, make buys. Pound, pretty much same thing. Pound is turning to, but Pound is not turning as aggressive as Euro. So I'm not sure that Pound will be changing, will be making a big correction to the upside. Pound would likely make a smaller correction. If you remember when we were earlier in this up move, I was convincing you guys that this thing has to come back down. Either as a big weekly correction for upside or actually we test the low. Well, looking at what we have right now, it looks like we might retest that low. Right? There was if you notice what Euro is doing, Euro is actually making a move down and going up strong. This we will make an assumption that is the running flat now because we broke the lows. Right? There was either a turning point or running flat. It's confirmed the running flat, so it's not a turning point. We broke the low. We are going. Any consolidation, you might get a little bigger consolidation here, and that will confirm another big move to the downside. Another one, and then we'll confirm the final break of the low. Because I think we might break the low. We might break the low very sharp. There's a good chance you get a consolidation like that. I'm watching. I hope it's not here. They drop and then do it there, right? But if they give us a consolidation like that, that means you will get a big move up, right? You will probably get a big move up. So watch this here to see what it does. Go back to the 4-hour and the 1 hour. You're getting a move up. You can buy. But if I have to buy between Euro and Pound, I'll go with the Euro. But that's my call, right? I always make mistakes with that too, so don't worry. You don't have to take which one I choose, right? If I think 2 pairs are going to go up and I choose one to buy, you probably want to buy the other one. Very often I get the wrong one. It goes, but it goes 10 pip and the other one moves 100 pip. That happens, right? So you don't have to choose. That's just a choice between 2 pairs that are going to do the same thing. I think this is going to go up, and I believe this one will go up slower than the Euro. So if you have buy setups, better to do it than the Euro. Aussie, the magic is working, right? Remember I told you these patterns are turning patterns too. Watch it for the turn. Watch it for the turn, right? They consolidate and then they took off. That was a Friday afternoon takeoff. But you can see the consolidation here. This wasn't the problem, right? See those consolidation. What you're looking at is patterns internally. So let me just take out all of these. Those are patterns on lower degree that we were looking at, right? You got it down, you got it up, you got it down. You can put the pattern very clearly like this. Now this is one of a bigger pattern. I think you can all see it. And now you got an impulse. Wait for correction, take the trade. Where is Aussie going? We're making a bigger correction here. And remember I said this one, we still have to decide what this is. Either it's a contracting flat, or this could be a running flat here now, come back up here and then drop. If we get that, we'll go with the running flat. See? So I didn't like it as a triangle, and it's not a triangle. I don't like it as a contracting flat, and it's trying to prove that it might not be a contracting flat. There are many reasons for that. We're not going to go into all the details as to why we look at patterns the way we look at it. That's something you can learn, and if you want to learn it, think about it very hard. So watch this when it comes here. We're going for an up move, and then we'll likely continue to the downside. New Zealand, same here. And remember, I told you last week, if you want to buy anything at the bottom here, the best one to buy would be what? New Zealand. That one has moved 85 pips if we go so far. Aussie has moved less than that, I think, or about the same thing. Aussie moved a little more, but New Zealand will move very fast this week. Euro and pound did not move that much, that's for sure. Watch the Aussie again. Watch the New Zealand again for upside, right? If you get a little correction, watch this thing. We're looking for a big wave to the upside. Right, we're looking for a big wave to the upside. An equivalent of this one, we haven't taken out that arrows yet because these patterns work, right? We're looking for this one to go up. That's an equivalent of this. So you might watch this thing go very strong and very fast. See? We're still looking for this to be a running flat now, and then continuation to the downside. Up, down, up, and then down. If this continues to be such a big move, then there is a good chance that the euro might turn out to be not a running flat, but an expanding flat, then go down, right? We're all looking for these moves to go up and then go down. How far would this go? I think this one has a lot to go. So we'll keep an eye on it to see how far it goes, which means if you get buy setups, take the buy. Right, pretty easy, nothing hard. You had buy setups here. If you get more buy setups, just take them. There are a lot of flags in there. You can find, they'll make another flag here. They'll probably make another flag here and then go. At some point, they will make a deeper pullback and go. At some point, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be this week. It might be next week or so. You may just go, and then you're going to get a deeper pullback, and then you're going to go again. Yen. Yen is pretty much in this dilemma situation, which direction to go. So you have to be careful with yen. It didn't go anywhere, not up, not down. We just made some small moves in here. And right now, we're just watching to see what it's going to do. But it looks to me like they might make one more here to the upside. And that will prove that yen could go up as well. You want to watch all the yen pairs. If you have, Euro, Aussie, New Zealand going up and yen going up, watch all the yen pairs. You're going to get some pretty nice moves to the upside. Or they may drop beyond this low, because the question is whether we're looking at this as a flat and this one comes here before it goes, right? We can't confirm that as it, because for the running flat, this one really looks good. It could still be this here. It could still be a bigger wave in here for the running flat. That is still possible. But we don't have enough confirmation of that as yet, because this is not, if this was going aggressive, we'd confirm it, but it's not going aggressive. And it's kind of going very flat. You got to move, you got that, you got to move, you broke the low, you can reverse now. It looks more like an up move, but be careful. They go slow like this, and they actually would probably just consolidate their drop, break the low, then go back up. So we will go with this as the running flat in the middle there. Let's wait for that and see what happens. New Zealand yen. Sorry, wrong one. CAD. I'll come back to the New Zealand yet. CAD is expected. We were thinking CAD should make one more up move, and that up move is still possible. This up move is still possible. By the way, if you want me to show you the CAD, what it could possibly do, I don't think, let me just check, see if he's in the room. Oh, I think, yes, he's in the room. Theodore, one of the traders I met with for breakfast. I've met with my traders for dinners a lot, but I met with the trader for breakfast as well. He's traveling, and we sit for 2 hours, and amazingly, we had a really nice time, wonderful conversation, and we did the CAD together. So some amazing stuff we did in the CAD, and I think he quite enjoyed the analysis there, because I could sense from him the clear vision he's getting when he started to see what the CAD could actually do and how its forecast is going to happen. So watch the CAD. There's a possibility, it could make one more down here. That is still possible, but we're still expecting this up move. So be careful with it. Either they stop here and go up, or they come down here first and then go up. But that upside is looking very, very possible now, right? So short-term CAD is in a nice sell. Be careful. I'm in the sell. If you're in the sell like me, you got to be careful. So CAD sell is from the top here. If you take off all of this, CAD sell is from the top here. There's a sell at the top. There's a sell set up at the top here. If you get that sell set up, it dropped very nice. Right? If you saw that one coming, honestly, I didn't think it was going to come here. I was looking for 1, 2, 3, stop right here and go back up. Right? That was my plan, selling for this one. And then I just got lucky. Right? And I think I got a little more lucky than I should get because we broke that structure. And if we break that structure, there's a good chance that breaking that structure will give you one more impulse to the low here. Probably tag the low before they go back up. Now, you got to be careful here because this could be part of a bigger structure that goes exactly from this point to the upside. So watch this. If we get consolidation in the majors on Monday, which means you see pound, euro, Aus start consolidating to the downside for the next up move, you watch this could probably finish this move to the top here because they would likely do that. And after that, I think we're going to get a downside. There is more downside in the CAD. There's one more downside I'm expecting to happen. Let's hope that that happened because we are not quite sure whether we're going to get it, but I'm expecting this to go back here, break the top, and then come down here. This part, right? Now, the good question is this all the consolidation? Could CAD actually take off from here? That is a possibility, but not necessary. Remember, if we think that New Zealand, Aussie, pound, euro has to make one more up before they go down, then there's a good chance you get one more down before you go up. And we've seen this pattern. We know what that is, and we know that that's a corrective structure, and that will definitely go up. So the question is, are we going to get this downside, or is it going to take off from here? Well, if you're in the sell now, you want to be careful because when you're going to get that little move up, it's a good buy you don't want to miss. Which means if CAD goes up this week, you want to take the buy and try to move your stops with it and stay with it. Because if that is a takeoff, that means it's going to be a big move. But I don't see that takeoff as yet. I still see them coming back here. And then we get that big takeoff. That is a possibility I'm seeing in CAD. So let's see how it goes. This week, you should be looking for the upside. Maybe, just maybe, it will get a little drop here first. You can, because this is looking corrected, they might drop into this area and then go. This pattern comes here and then go back up there. So this could be your trade. Short term, if you get the trade there, that's going to be a nice short trade. Take it, get profit out of it, and see what happens. Right? I don't think this is the big drop. Also, the big question is, could this be the big drop to the bottom here? I don't think so. It's possible, I don't think so. I think they will probably test the top and then come back because I don't like this structure here. That looks very much like an upside. Only one condition where that could be the start of a downside is if it makes an if it makes a running if it makes a leading diagonal. Right? Sorry for that. Just kidding. If it makes a leading diagonal, the word couldn't come out of my mouth. If it makes a leading diagonal here, then we will consider that. Well, we know the specifications of how leading diagonal behaves. So if I see a leading diagonal structure in it, which I don't see as yet, then we will confirm the downside. Exactly. Almost a shorter pattern, almost a shorter version of what the daily one is looking. See? You guys can figure them out already. Swiss. Upside. Swiss is making a nice pattern, which I told you, if you were selling this one here, you got a nice trade, but you have to come out of it because it's not breaking the low, which means that there's a good chance we might end up with a contracting flat here. A perfect ABC. A, this was a perfect B and the C, but the C should supposed to come here and then go back up. That would be the perfect regular flat. It stopped short here and come here. They can still come down here and then go, right? Which means the C wave will have 3 waves in it. And don't argue with me, C waves do have 3 waves in it. It could come here and then go back. You could make it a little more complicated B wave here before you go down and go. But all in all, you want to watch the break of that top because the break of that top will give you a very nice trade to the upside. I don't think they're going right now, right? We're looking at this as a contracting flat. We're not looking at this as a possibly bigger wave to the downside. I don't see that possibility as yet, right? I don't think this one is consolidating to go down as yet because they will have to come here, go back up, and then we would look at that possibility. If we think this is consolidating here to go down, we'll have to break these stops again. Only then we will see whether it's going to go down. As of now, you're going to probably come tag this low and go back up. And it's going sideways. The best thing, if you don't like this, don't trade it because it's not going anywhere. Silver, you got to be in the trades. That's all. If you want to buy now, you got to wait. I would wait for it to make consolidations. There is a good chance if you're in the trade, right? There is still a good chance for them to come back this low and then go, right? Because if we look at that as the correction, that's a contracting flat. Contracting flats only, confirm when they actually, break out of the structure. We haven't broken out of the structures yet. We're still within the sideways move. So we don't know that is a contracting flat. And there's a good chance you test the low and then go. Let's see if they're going to do that. I really don't matter if they test the low and go. If they make a bigger flat in here, coming like 1, 2, 3, and then go, I'm pretty happy with that. Maybe my third trade will come in right here. Right? I actually had a third trade on, but I closed it. I had a third trade when this little spike was happening. And this little spike, I had a third trade on there, but I closed it because I realized that is not going anywhere. That became a break-even trade. Gold. Pretty much same thing. You got a nice reversal. You got a nice correction here, very small correction, and then they take off. So watch this is not going aggressive, but I think they can continue to go up for a while. And gold, remember I was telling you, gold is very likely going to come back and tag the top. So go back to the daily structure of gold. And there's a good chance we don't tag this low. We're going to see this thing go back up. Now, the question is whether we're going to look at this as some kind of a contracting flat or whether we look at this still as a B wave in the middle here. We will only know that when we get that move. And gold is very likely going up very strong. So watch for the possibility of gold getting back all the way to the top here. Watch for the buys. That means silver will be going very nice too. So if you're going to look for a buy setup this week and gold, you may want to just wait for the consolidation. Right? Is there a chance gold go down, silver go up, or gold go down, or silver even consolidate within that zone and gold go down from here? Possible, but very unlikely. Right? It is still possible for that down, but it's very unlikely. If you look at what everything else is doing, and it's all dollar movement, it's the value of dollar that is creating all these movements, it's unlikely that it's going to happen. Pattern-wise, there is nothing. It's just turning. So there is no pattern to confirm whether it's going to go down more or go up more there. Right? I think this one is pretty easy. You should be in this trade. This is a no-brainer. It's going down. It's consolidating. If they broke the top, I would really love them to break in this top completely, but they didn't. They just came very close to the top. But you could have seen this. I don't think that was hard to see. Look for a buy setup, sell setup here, and you might get one. Because if you look at what they did, they make a big consolidation. Drop, made another consolidation, make a small flag here, and then drop. You made a big consolidation, drop, make another consolidation, and make a small flag here and drop. Take the trade. If you get a small flag there, take the trade. Right? It's easy. It's not difficult. Look backwards, see what they did, come back, look what they're doing, and say, hey, I think I got that. You can actually take this and put it on top of this. One is slightly bigger than that, but pretty much you can see, right? It's not difficult. EuroCAD. EuroCAD is becoming a complex, very complex one in terms of the patterns they're making. So you've got this structure. We broke down the low, and I still don't like that to be all the consolidation, although it's pretty good for consolidation. And they're not coming down as aggressive as we would like them to come. So there is a good chance that this might be making a consolidation here for up move. So you might end up the whole week in consolidation. So you might not get a good trade in EuroCAD this week. Euro New Zealand. Also consolidating only for the opposite direction. And the only way this could go the opposite direction is if New Zealand actually, because if you have two Euro trades showing you opposite direction, then you got to look at the pairs on those trades. You have to look at what CAD is going to do, and you have to look at what New Zealand is going to do. Now it is consolidating here, and they broke one small consolidation, but there's a chance they're making a bigger consolidation here. Hope they go back up once and then fall. That would be the perfect setup. If it goes from where it is right now in the 60, you will see you might get in the trade. It's not very, very nice. Right? You can get in that one. It didn't go anywhere. You might get in that one. That didn't go anywhere. But if this comes here and go back up like that, you get a perfect flat here for a sell. So hopefully this one actually goes up a little there, and then we get that trade to the downside. Right? So watch this one here. Watch this. There's a likely chance we get one upside and then down. That would be perfect. And this is a good reversal sign. This gets everything you want for the reversal, including the top of the daily, right? Which we wanted. Break that top. So we've got a 1, 2, 3 here. We're breaking the top of the daily. We're reversing. Look for that setup, and then you're trading this down for big time, right? Really big moves to the downside. Euro Swiss. Okay, so we stopped. We made a bounce. Let's see what the daily is doing. We're in the daily structure. And this is very much a bouncing spot, right? Which means not because of the trend is there, but because of the impulses. We've got an impulse up, we've got a move down, we've got an impulse down, we've got a move down. We're at the bottom here, and there's a good chance this could make one more up, right? So let's see if we're getting that upside. 4 hour. We've got a turn, 1 hour. Pretty much look like you got that trade, you got this trade, and it's going up now. So and once you get this going up in that one, any correction it makes on the 1 hour is a buy setup, right? Any flag it makes, you're getting a buy setup. Take the buy setup. Euro yen. Euro yen finally give us that one more move up we're looking for. This one more here. So the question is, what is euro yen doing? Can we look at this as a sign that it's reversing from here? Or is that some kind of a flat pattern for more downside? And this one, you will have to wait for it. You will have to actually wait a while and this tell us which one it is making. Because at that stage that they are on the bigger time frame, both of those structure possible. One more downside still possible. One more upside still possible. The upside should probably be over by now. These are short-term trades. Take those out. The one you've just broken out of this structure here. They probably still go up a little more, make a flat here, and then it's likely they can go down. Or they finish the move and continue. So which trade should you take? Stay out of it. Stay out of it until it gives you confirmation on one side. They break the low, you have a sell. For a buy, I'll wait for a confirmed flag or something like that before I buy. Europa, downside, and I still think this is going to go down more. I still think this has more downside. I don't see them actually climbing very much to the upside. You've got this structure. The question is, how do we look at this structure, this whole piece here, right? If we look at this as a 1, 2, 3 ending here, then we might retest the top. But I think this is more of a 1 or a 1 here, 2, 3 for a B wave like that, an up move there, and this is making an up move. So we might get one more down here, right? I think we're looking more for the downside rather than the upside because the upside is very slow. Pound Swiss. Pound Swiss is an interesting chart. Let me show you in the weekly. Right? In the weekly, we were expecting this to go one more down. The whole structure is like this. You got 1, 2, 3, you're dropping. We forecast that move somewhere here. I don't know why it disappeared now. And if you see this, you're actually looking downside, right? It's going to actually retest this low and then go back up. But the question is from here, do we see this going back up one more there before you get the fall, right? Is the consolidation over? And that's always the question. Is this consolidation over? Are we literally going down now? Very likely. I think because of the strength of that move, very likely. So I will see this making a pullback somewhere like this and then dropping. I don't see this reversing up one more. It's possible, but I don't see that structure in it. It's more likely we're going to see a move to the upside and then the downside comes. So you're getting that move. You can see it's already breaking out of this structure from there. You can see it in the lower time frame. Very nice. Already breaking that structure. We already had one flag here and we're probably making another one here, right? Very likely we're making another flag here, probably drop to this level and then go. That would be a good trade setup. If they drop here first and then go, that gives you a good trade setup. If it continues to go from where it is right now, it will be tough for you to trade, right? So watch this. I would like it to drop here first, and that would be a good trade because now you've got a very nice flat there, something like this. See this? You got a flat, and once you get that, you're selling, and you're selling, right? So let's see what it's going to do. They broke out of this structure. There was a possibility. I was thinking there's a possibility this one will drop one more and then go because you will normally see 3 or 5 within those structures before they turn. Well, they give us 3, no problem. Right? If you bought to the top here, at least you could have put that to break even. You take a small profit and then you wait to see what happens. It broke out and then watch it here now. It's likely going to go. We'll see. Pangos Pong also on the daily structure has a very, all the Pong pairs, they've made the top and they're coming. So Pong is the same question, right? If you look at this, we got that 1, 2, 3. The question is whether we're going to make another one up from here or make a bigger correction in here. That's the next question. There is a good chance they will do that. And there's a reason why I think even if they make another consolidation here, they'll make one more over, is because of the impulse that we have. It's a pretty huge impulse and the correction is pretty small. Well, relatively, if you look at it, right? We didn't go back very much into that. You know, a 50% of that would be somewhere here. So if they make a consolidation here like this and go back up there, it would be pretty normal. You'll get about a 50% retracement of that move, right? Let's see what we're going to get. Go to the 4-hour. We're pretty much going sideways, and I think at least one more up here is likely before they go down, if they're going to go down. This is starting to look like a flat in the making. One more down, and then we will see whether we're going to go up or whether they will actually break through the whole pattern to the downside. So for this week, I think you can look for a short trade up here. At least reverse this back to that level, and then we'll see what happens when they come into this area here. You move your stops. If they start to turn, we look for the sell setups again. This is like a likely area that you're looking for to see what's going to happen there. Right? So keep your eyes on that one. Pound New Zealand, very similar structure. And this one is already confirming you're likely going to go up. This might just come here and then go back up because you're making a flat here, right? I think you can see that. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You got 1, 2, come back for a 3 here, go back to the top, break the top because we got 1, 2, 3. And if you look at that in the daily, you'll see that structure. Right? Actually, when they broke this structure here, see what happens? That was this one. They made a very nice flag there, correction, before they take off. We're making that correction right now here, before the takeoff. See? So there is one more coming here. Watch for it. It's going to turn very soon. And when you get that turn, you're ready to go. This one is setting up to go, so watch it. Let's see what's going to be. I don't know if it's going to go now. They might take a long time to the bottom here, but then it looks like they're very much going to go up. So the problem with this is Pound New Zealand, and New Zealand looks like it's going to go up, not down. This one is not set to go down. And Pound doesn't look like it's going to get very aggressive to the upside. So what might happen for that, if you're going to expect that to happen, is that this might end up staying here a much longer time than we think before they go. That's the only thing I can see. Both Pound and New Zealand go up, but this could stay here for a while. I don't think they're going to come down lower here before they go, because then we're going to have a bigger B wave, right? Which I am not expecting. I'm not expecting this to come here and make a more complex B wave structure before you go, right? I'd make a very big B wave structure here. Possible, but this little pattern is not showing that right now. At least this is showing you one more move up. And then we will see what happens after that. Punkat, very similar structure in the daily. We broke the top. All of you remember that was going up. We said let it break the top. It turned, so now we can take that off. That's useless. We broke the top and turned, and the question now is, do we get one more up from here? Can we look at this as some kind of a running flat? And the 1, 2, 3 here and go back up, right? That is a possibility. The second one is whether you look at this whole piece here from here, starting from here, which, you know, kind of an efficient. If you look at that as a 1, 2, 3 here for this piece, and then that finishes the move to go down. I think more it's upside. And I think the end of it would be here, and then we'd be looking for possibly one more move up. So at this point, you got to start looking to see whether it's turning. And if you see that turning sign, you got to be ready to trade it to the upside. Right now, we don't have that. What we're getting is one more downside. So you might still test this low. You might still get a flag here, drop, test the low, and then we watch to see whether it starts to turn. So next week, the first trade you might get will be the trade to the downside. You got to take profit out of that as fast as you can, and then look to see whether we're starting to reverse this back to the upside. This is not very aggressive, so at some point they could start to make a very, very big move up. Keep your eyes on that. Let's go. Pang Yen, if you take the trade for a short-term trade and it fall very hard to the downside, well, good luck to you. I don't think that's going to happen, but very good luck to you if you did that, right? So the question is this trying to turn something here, right? They made a short one, they dropped, they made a short one, they didn't break the low, and they're turning. Now, when they don't break the low and turn, that's a good sign. All those lines you see were short trades. Short trades down, short trades down. This one didn't go anywhere. That's more of a break even. And if they're turning, this is a good time for them to turn to the upside from here, right? It's a good time for all of this to go up now, if this is the turning point. So keep your eyes on it. What is this doing in the daily? On the daily, it's still very confusing. This move happened as we expect, but in the daily, it's very confusing as to whether you're going to get one more up or whether they're going to continue to go down from there. I still don't like this as a pattern. So I think it might be more complex. If we go back up, then we will figure out whether we're looking at something that is more complex. Something we couldn't recognize earlier, right? Because we still don't have enough pieces to put this together. We're trading this little pieces by little pieces. So if they start to go up, it's going to all be short-term trades again until you break out of the biggest structure. Aussie yen, you're getting a pullback. So they drop beyond the low, and now you're getting kind of pullback. When you start to see them break the low and pull back, you want to always look at the bigger structure. And the bigger structure, you're looking to see whether you think we're going to get one more up, which means you get something like 1, 2, 3. Maybe this becomes part of that whole correction, and then up. That's a possibility. Or whether you're going to continue to go down, and this was all your correction. Right? If you go to the much bigger picture in the weekly, if you look at the weekly, there is a good chance, because you see how this weekly one was sharp here. You do have a flat in the middle. I think you can see that there. This flat, then they went actually very sharp to the upside and then reversed to make this one. Right? Pretty sharp. So at this point here, we haven't had that sharp move up, right? So that we have more of one sharp move up. The flat could be this part. And if you get this as the flat, you would likely get one sharp move up there before they come down. Right? One sharp move up somewhere like this, and then you start to see that downside. That would make sense. Now, could this be a turning point for upside? I don't see that convincingly. I don't see a reason why they should go from there. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but they could. So we'll watch it. Look for a chance that this could go back up, test the top, and then come down. What you're going to look for in the 1 hour and the 4 hour? What that means any trade you get for a seller short term, once you know that there's a bigger daily turn coming sometime soon, it doesn't mean it's going to turn exactly at this spot. We don't know that they're turning exactly this spot, because right now you don't have any confirmation. That's not an impulse going up as yet. Just starting making a move, and it's a very small move. But if you get a sell set up, take the sell, take profit. Take the sell, take profit. When they break the very big low, then we will confirm that it's breaking out of the biggest structure and you're going down. If you get a buy set up, take the buy, take profit until you break that top, right? When we break this top, all these tops, this is mostly showing you the pattern. It's not showing you the trend line. You got to move up, you got to move up, you got to move down, you got to move down, you got a 1, 2, 3 in the middle, and that's your flat. So you got 1, 2, 3 there. See? You just learned something, right? Just learned that the B wave could be in the middle of a flat like that and look really strange. Aussie CAD. Aussie CAD looks upside. We were expecting one more upside in the Aussie CAD because this in the middle here definitely looks like a whole corrective structure. So I expect this to consolidate and look for one more up like this. And then we'll consider the downside when we complete this structure. Right, so we're looking for this to go back up to that level, somewhere around the top there. So probably look for a correction in upside, which you're getting already. You're getting some kind of a correction there. Yep, looks like they're even starting that upside already. And the break of the top you can buy. You can't buy before they break that top. You'll likely get yourself in trouble. Aussie, New Zealand. It's consolidating. It probably will consolidate for some more, and then you're going to get a very nice downside. Right? You're going to get a very nice move here, and then we'll see what happens. One more up, right? Because that one will be completing this pattern. That one will be completing this pattern. 1, 2, 3. You get one more up, and then we look for downside. So look for some sell setups in this week. You probably will get it. Aussie Swiss. Okay, very complicated. I think we will have to either look at this as some kind of a contracting flat in there eventually. I don't think we're making a running flat, but that's possible too. Right? The contracting flats, once they start pulling back, could either be a running flat, come here and then continue to go down, making this a running flat, right? 1, 2, 3. Watch for both possibilities. One, you're looking for a buy setup. That's all. You know that for sure. That the trade is a buy setup. Look for the buy, and then we'll see what happens. It already broke out, so you have to wait for another flag. They already broke out of this consolidation. You have to wait for a flag or a consolidation. New Zealand Swiss, we're going back up as we expected. It took a longer while to go back up, right? But they're doing that up move, which is this move here. They're doing that because we didn't have anything there to put it for the next impulse, right? So you got an impulse, you got to start to get correction. We were expecting this to come back here and then maybe downside. That will give us a nice running flat. So look for more upside, and you have everything to look for more upside. Wait for 1 hour flags and buy. Same with the New Zealand CAD. Big picture, you're looking for 1 more up. And then we'll see, put it in the 4 hour. We're looking for this one. Right, somewhere here, like that. Up there, and then we'll look for downside. So CN. Stay out of this one for now. I think it's going to go up more, but we're not confirming what this pattern is because it's not quite making sense. I don't think that's a running flat because this one's a little too short for that, sorry. We wanted to go a little more here and then we would have actually confirmed. This piece could be going down if that is a running, kind of a running flat, but with a short C wave in it. This could go down more, but if that goes down more, you're probably likely going to get 1 more up. Right? The whole structure is looking like it's going to make 1 more up. Canadian definitely has to go back up. They did make an attempt and they pull back and they're making a next attempt. So let's see if this one goes. Right? I still want to see them tag this stop before we get into the sells. Right? If they tag that top, they complete the structure for us to start selling. If they go lower from here, if this one goes lower from here, you would probably get a much more complex B wave. That is it. But this is enough for a B wave, that whole piece. So this move up and this move up would be perfect. So let's see, go back to the 1 hour. Wait, nothing much, but it does look like this could be it. This could also come tag below here first and then go back up, right? So the sell side is being careful. You got to be very careful with it, but a buy would be a good one if you get a buy setup. Buy setup, wait for a flag, take the trade, wait for impulse, put it to break even, and then see what happens. Cat Swiss, you're good. You can ignore this one. It looks more downside right now, but it's not going anywhere. So it's kind of in a flat. Copper. Put copper like this and squeeze it. Put it in the daily probably. Good. So the big question with this is, what are we looking at? Is this going to make 1 more up here and then go down? This is a sharp move. So I think this one should either come back, break the top, and make this a 1, 2, 3. That's one option. Second option is this just go back, consolidate here. It's going up already. You can see that much. Go up, consolidate here, and give you another drop. So let's see which one we have on the 1 hour. Both of them are looking upside. So you broke this small flag. You're getting 1 move, wait for it to go make another flag, and then you wait for a bigger correction, and then you continue to go. Right? So there's going to be a number of small flags you can buy into before you go. US oil. US oil is dropping. Nothing new. We broke the low here. We broke the low here. These are good trades, actually. That was a good trade. This was a good trade. You might get another good trade. Looks like you're going to break the low again, but then you start looking for your upside, right? Here's a good chance you get another one here. You get 1, 2, 3, 4. You can get 5, and then you start actually looking for upside if they do that. If they complete that 5-wave structure, look for upside. Remember, it could also be 3-wave, right? Remember, I showed you one of them where instead of giving us 5, they give us 3. That is the pound Swiss. So let's look at the pound Swiss again. Very similar structure to the downside. See that? But instead of making 5 waves, they made 3 waves, right? So that 1, 2, 3, and then they went up. So either it's a 5-wave or it's a 3-wave structure. Which one it is going to be? I have no idea. You have to just wait and see. So let's go look at it again. Oil. Right? So is this going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 1, 2, 3? Let's see. Right? There's a good chance that it's over as well and this is going up. But within this piece here, within this piece from this one here, you could still get one more down. So if you get any trade here short term to the upside, watch it and then look for that downside. Not so big, one more just about this level. And then we can start that big upside because it's ending. It could be some kind of an ending diagonal. And then you're looking for big upside, right? Looking for this to come back somewhat here. And then probably more upside. UK oil. So this, on the other hand, is also consolidating here, kind of pushing up, pushing up, pushing. Watch this area here. You could get one more down from here, or you're going to come all the way to the top. So look for a buy setup here and treat it to that level. Put it to break even. If you see the turn, take out the profit. If not, watch them to come back here and then probably make one more down, giving you this as some kind of a structure. So when they come back down here and then the upside. So there is still that one more downside on the US oil and the UK oil, but the question is they're all both correcting to the upside right now. So this week you're going to get short-term buys. This week you can look for short-term buys if you get it, right? You see 1, 2, 3, and we got that up. So we might get, and then this one goes down. So you're going to get short-term buys, but most likely you're looking for it to go down in the bigger picture. So let me take a pause here because this is where one of the very smart guys who's going to come down and say, this guy always says it's going to go up and it's going to go down, right? So I'll take a minute to give them a pause to think about it and understand what the chart does because it always goes up or down. And the question is it going up today or down today? You got to help them, Mark. You always have to help people who are in the dark. Why not help them understand what they don't understand? So watch this piece here. If you get a flag here, you're going to take the up. When it comes to this level, you're going to move that stop and you're going to look for down. And then when it breaks this low, you're going to look for up because that is what structure does. It goes up and down and up and down. And that up and down is what we call wave analysis. You're looking for waves. Now, if you any one of your surfer, you would know you get waves, right? But you're not always going to guess exactly which waves are going to be the best waves, right? But if you're a good surfer, you can tell when a big wave is coming. Right? You can tell when a big wave is coming, and when a small wave is coming, you can ignore it. If you're not a good surfer, you don't see anything in the waves coming. You can't tell the difference of a wave that will be a big one from a small one. And that's what we do. We look at it and say, is there a big wave coming? Yeah, there's a big wave coming to the upside, but first you have to get those small waves to the downside first. Finish this, and then that big wave will come. When I trade, I look for the direction of the big waves. I allow the small waves to finish, and then I try to get the small wave from the bottom of a big wave to go. Because when you get that, then you get to ride the entire wave. You don't get into a big wave when it already is big. You get into a big wave when it's just starting to form, but you know that this one is going to be the big wave, right? Every now and then the surfer gets it wrong, right? He jumps into one that he thinks is going to be a big wave, and somewhere along the line, and it's not a very big wave. What do? He doesn't stop, right? He just go back into it again, wait for the next big wave to come. Because they still give you a lot of profit if they move, even not as much as you expect them to go. So if you guys can take your time to learn that stuff, you will see that it works. I've showed you days in, days out that it works. It works. Why does it work? Well, there's a simple explanation, right? Very simple explanation. All you're doing is you're learning how people behave. We're learning how people in the market behave. And their behavioral pattern is what causes these waves, right? When we understand the behavior of the market, which by not knowing why they behave. So I'm not saying I know why the market behaves. So I'm understanding or why the people in the market behave. So the why is an unknown factor. But there are so many known factors that if you know that this pattern reacts this way, why it would react that way is not your problem. As long as the pattern reacts that way every time, that is what you need to do. You need to get in that trade every time. And if one of the few times it didn't go exactly the same way it went the last 100 times or the last 50 times or the last, no big deal. Because if you do 1,000, there's probably about a couple of hundred of them that didn't go. But the majority of them go. So when you're trading, you're trying to catch the direction of the highest probability trade. You want the higher probability. It doesn't mean you're going to get all perfect. And it doesn't mean that it doesn't work. It's just that you thought this one was going to be the big one, but it's not the big one. And that's okay. That's part of trading. If anybody had known everything 100%, you know what would happen. We'll probably call that person God. If somebody knows anything 100%, nobody knows anything, even 50%. You're just working with a majority of what you look at what happens in the past, and you said, okay, if that repeats itself, this is what I'm going to do. And that's it. But you still have to have the ability to correctly forecast what was in the past, because one guy wrote me in Skype and he said, I think I've got to stop with this wave thing. It's not working for me. And I was like, it's not the problem of the wave thing not working. It's the last part for you. Because what you're looking at is incorrect. You're looking at it incorrectly, and you have the view that it's not working. You've come to a decision with wrong analysis. You do the analysis incorrect, but you've come to very, very concrete decision that this thing is not working because I tried it and it didn't work. Hey, I tried to surf. It didn't work for me. That doesn't mean you can't surf. That doesn't mean there's nothing like surfing in the world. Just that I would probably die if I continue to do it. It doesn't work for me, right? I'm not good at it. That doesn't mean nobody can do it. That doesn't mean it's not something you can learn to do, right? You just have to keep insisting and doing it. I never kept it. I don't have the time to go keep trying to practice. If I practice long enough, I'll probably be good at it. But that's the point. I hope you're getting that message, because it's very important that traders get that message out there, because once they give up, they start looking for things that will make them lose their account. If you give up on this, you go back to support and resistance, you go back to those crazy animals, you go back to whatever you thought worked before 1 or 2 times. Your brain erased all the mistake you made, all the money you lost, and then you believe it will work, and then it doesn't work again, and you get confused again, right? And you end up buying courses for $500 that is going to be useless, right? You buy signals hoping to be saved by the guy who's selling you signals, and you wouldn't be saved because signals doesn't work already. And I can already see how the trolls are going to come in for me to repeat that signals doesn't work. So if you're buying signals, stop buying it. It wouldn't work. You can treat the signal service as a show because you're paying for a show. You will not make money, but you will see a good show. If you want, I can do a show for you, right? You want to pay me monthly to show you how I trade? I can do that. That's a show. You wouldn't be able to do the same trades I do. Maybe 1 or 2 you'll catch, but you wouldn't be able to do them because you don't understand that. To do that, you really, really have to understand how to do it. You have to learn the methodology. You have to learn how to recognize the patterns, right? So that I don't think Mark Paris is in my course. We have about 4 marks in my course, but none of them is Mark Paris. I can tell you that. I know all my marks. I know all the traders in my course. So let's go. Natural gas. Same here. Watch for this. It's breaking out slightly, but I don't think you got to be careful with this because it looks like they're consolidating here, which means you're going to get a bigger consolidation at some point here, and then you might get one more up move, right? So be careful. S&P 500. One more up. We saw that coming. Remember, this wasn't going impulsive. We saw that. You're still going to get one. They may still tag this top. You can still expect them to tag that top, but then you're looking for that big move down. Just once they break that top, you start looking very carefully for that big move down, because once they break this top, we're going to go down. Now, the question is, how far will they go when they break it? I'm not expecting this to be a very, very long extended wave like this, right? I'm not looking for a running flat here. I'm not. I think they will just break the top slightly, and then we might come deeper here before we go back up. But let's see. If you want to buy here, you can take the buy, but you got to be very, very careful if you take the buy. If you're taking a buy here, you have to be very careful as to how high this would go. How big a running flat would it be? Would it just break the top and turn, or are there going to be more up moves? I'll be careful with the buy. When they're at that level, you got to be very, very careful with the buy because it could turn once it breaks the top, it could turn. DAX, downside. And we might get a little more downside here in DAX. I think we're looking at this impulse here and we're looking at this consolidation. So they might just give you one more drop here, but then you're going to start to get this move up. See? You're going to complete this pattern. So watch for it. There, you probably get one more trade to the downside here, and then you start to get this. It's still in a big sideways move, so it's not like going away anywhere. Can it go down from here? I don't think from where is it right now. I don't think they're going to go down exactly from here because this would mean that you're looking at this piece of the correction to the upside, this piece here, right? And no, I don't see that as being the correction. For them to go down, they might, if they come back here and then do that, well, yes. If they make a three-wave structure not breaking that top, yes, we would look for downside. But that is going to be not this week, next week. So if they come down here, they may just come back to retest this low. If it comes down from this area, we will probably just retest this low, go back up there, and then, yeah, if we see that, we'll confirm downside from there. Right? So I don't think so. I think it's going to likely go up. Because you got a nice 1, 2, 3 wave there. You notice you had a similar one here, look. 1, 2, 3, they break the top. 1, 2, 3, they break the top. Can they do 1, 2, 3 and break the top one more time? You see something you recognize, and then what happens? I'm just not doing all the whole details of all the patterns for you guys here because then we will spend about 4 hours. And most of you will not even recognize all those patterns because you haven't done the course. But as you can see, we do, but not because I'm not saying what pattern we are expecting. It doesn't mean when we do our webinars, we don't do that. In my webinar daily, we do that. If we're looking for upside, then what pattern? The first question we ask ourselves is, okay, what are we expecting it to do? Not just that it's going to go up or it's going to go down. And when you're in that webinar, you actually get the why you think it's going to go up and it's going to go down. What patterns are you looking at? Right? You just can't tell me if you're in my group that, hey, I think this thing is going to go up, because my next question is, what are you looking at? What pattern you see that tells you it's going to go up? And then where is that going to stop and what bigger pattern you're making? But in the weekly webinar, we just give you a sense of direction without the patterns. We just tell you where we think it's going to go. Every now and then I show you a very good pattern, which is extra. If you come, you get it. So watch this. I think this might just go a little, but watch this pattern here. You might start to get this down very soon, right? So watch this very closely. Somewhere here, you're gonna start, it's about to end that whatever it's doing, and then you might get the downside because this is too sharp for the correction, which means we're gonna be looking for one more down, right? Be careful with that. Dow Jones Industrial, break the top and come back, right? It was coming very nice, but it was too sharp, so they didn't reverse. They're gonna break the top, and all of them has to come back. These are corrective structures. You know, they may go a little more even, but they have to come back to complete these B-wave structures, complete and then even break the bottom then before you go. So I don't think this is going up now. We're still within a consolidation zone. Bitcoin. So Bitcoin broke the low once. Let's see what we're looking at. We're looking at this pattern here, right? We're looking at Bitcoin to make this. We thought this could have been a 1, 2, 3, but they made this, so they drop here. There's a good chance you could drop one more here and then take off because this is going to happen. And then from there, we're going to see more downside, right? But how high this go? We're always focusing for breaking the top. They don't always break. In this case, they don't have to break the top because it could be a running flat. They could break the top, make an expanding flat, but it's looking upside right now. So what you're seeing here, is that a turning point? I don't think they're turning as yet because we've got some nice structure looking like you're going to get one more down here. And actually, if you look at it 1 hour, you're getting a little flag there. You're getting a little correction here. You see that? So there's a good chance you might get one more trade down, break this low, and then somewhere from here you start to go up. So look for a sell, and then you start wait for that turn and get in the buy. Ethereum, same thing. I think this is not going to go down very much. It's just going to consolidate and then go up. right? So I don't think it's going to go down very much, but you can see a consolidation might happen here, and then you can probably get the upside, right? Or it could drop slightly like this and then go, but they're about to turn. So you want to be careful with sells. You don't want to be trapped with selling at the bottom, and then next you know it's going way against you, right? So this one is turned already. I'm pretty sure this one might have turned here already. At 25, if you didn't buy, you're really messing with your account. That's a level you should be buying from, 25, right? You should be buying from here because you're way back to where this low is, and they're not gonna get back to those low now because we're in this B wave here, and this is likely one more move up, right? So wait for a little consolidation here. They're consolidating there now, and then you're gonna get this move up. I don't think this is making a flat because we're looking at this as the possible flat. See that? And there is some more sharp moves in there, but I think there is a flat already in here somewhere at the top there. So I'm already looking at this as the B wave in the making, which means you've got that piece for the B. You're getting a C wave slowly draw down, so you're going to expect this to come back up here. Now, can it become a more complex B wave? Possible. But there's a good chance that that up move in Bitcoin actually give you a retest of the top here. Remember, this thing is only moving from $3, from 30 cents to $3, right? It's not a big move. It's a $3 move you're making. Whereas Bitcoin will be making a couple $1,000 move. So this is possible. That up move in Bitcoin could give you this big move here. Watch it. You want to be careful. This one will give you risk to reward, much better trade than the Bitcoin will give you. All right? So if you're looking in terms of risk to reward, this one is going to be amazing. Right? This one will really give you a big move. Right? You're buying at 25, 30 cents and you're going to get $3. You buy Bitcoin at what? Bitcoin, you're going to be buying at, I don't know. Likely you may get a buy somewhere about 6,005 or something like that. Or if it comes back lower here, you get it at 5,005 to 11,000. Probably about the same thing. Well, no, you're getting much more there. There you're getting 100 times this, you're only getting double, right? 5 to 10 is double. So better to go invest in that one, right? You buy the one that is cheaper and the one that is less risk. You know why this is less risk? This thing could only fall from 35 to 0. That one could fall from 5,000 to 0, right? And that's a big fall, right? So percentage-wise is not a good idea. Look at this one. Let's go. What else we're looking at? I think that's about it. We've covered everything for you guys there. It's a long webinar, already 2 minutes above. So I can take 2-3 questions very fast, and then we'll stop the webinar. We don't want it to be too long. Okay. Any questions? No questions. Okay, great. So for those of you who have been sending me messages on Facebook and on Skype, if you're interested in the upcoming course, it will be on the 10th of September. We're starting. We've set the date, 10th of September is the starting date. You have at least 1 week before it starts to pay because your payment will be, the transfer will be through bank, so it's going to take some time. And you can Skype me for the information at Mango. Let me just make this a little bigger. MANGAL Mango 457. Send me a Skype message, you get all the details. Right? A lower time frame to 1 hour on this one. What would that give you? It just gives you that you have to consolidate here to go up. Wait for the consolidation and then go, right? Wait for the consolidation in here and take the trade. Right? So everybody have a good weekend. Very good week ahead. Make sure you make a lot of profit. And I will see all of you next week. Take care. Please help share the link so that somebody who is suffering, who is having a problem, cannot trade, needs help, doesn't understand what's happening, could probably watch these webinars and learn a thing or two. You are here because you like what I do, right? So there may be people out there who haven't seen it as yet. Help them see it, and they'll probably join me. So thanks for everything, and see all of you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.